So it's actually Thursday morning, and I did this video on Wednesday. And after I did it, one of your classmates reached out to me, and it was Brianna. I really appreciate your feedback, is that I'd forgotten to provide the link here. So make sure I will put a note up here to check out this video at the end if you're confused about that. And then I didn't cover that in the video, so now I actually get to, is that last week where we were using count, only include count if it's required part of the query. You're more than welcome to use it to see if you got back the correct number. But if the query doesn't call for a actual count, make sure you take it out and then run your proof of work file. Okay. So after recording this and after reflecting upon what my thinking has been and also reflecting upon what I talked to students about, yesterday when I got home, I posted this, which is I thought about something students said to me when I've been talking to them, and some are real, like a challenge of doing the problem sets are that it's breaking down the problem to do the analysis to get to the query. And so I thought, how can I help with that? And as I reflected upon my authentication file requirements, I thought, there's an opportunity here for those who want to take advantage of something that I'm going to offer up. So before I show you, I'm just going to say, if you're comfortable doing this without what I'm about to show you, is not required. Okay, but if you want to just check it out, that's cool. But if you want to use it, what I'm about to show, for your authentication file for either one or all the 6 queries for the first one, and then for the second one, because I'll do it for that one as well. And what I mean by that is part 1 and part 2. Okay. Because there's a really great opportunity to use these generative AI LLMs to help you do, because that's part of what you want to get out of this. This is what I was talking about in this first video, which I was talking about. You want to work on, build your skill, your analytical thinking here, right? So here's what I've done. And I will do a little better documentation, but tutor me for the following queries, right? So again, this is not required. If you're comfortable doing that other process of documenting on your own, cool, right? But this will count for your authentication section for this query. So again, if you were like, you looked at one, you're like, oh, I know how to do that one, no problem. I can document how I got to the answer. Or if you're struggling to get to the answer and you want a little more help, or if you just want to check these out, right? So these can serve for however many you want. If you're struggling one or struggling with all of them, these hopefully will help. And I'm just going to walk you through the process again. So what will happen here, right, if you choose one, then in your README file for the work that you're doing, just note that you actually used, right, the ICA for that. And then I will go check that one. So as an example, let's say I was working on 3 and I was like, oh, you know what, I could use some help here. Right? Or maybe it was 6, because 6 is a little more involved as well. Now, I have to tell you, I drafted these prompts. Are they perfect? Probably not, but you'll see what I mean. So let's say I want some help with 3. And in getting the help, I'm also creating the Authenticate file. So tutor me, right, for query 3. So what this is going to say is going to give the schema. Right, I'm taking a course step by step. You want to help me analyze the problem step by step to arrive at the query that will solve or answer the problem given. Right, so then I give the database schema. Right, don't provide the SQL to me unless I ask. So again, if I see you working through it, but at the end still struggle, right, then as that result. After I've seen it, I still consider that authentication, okay? So now, here's the problem that we're looking at here, right? Again, I end with, don't give me the SQL. Give me feedback on the SQL I write. Your job is to help me learn to problem solve. You don't need to optimize. That's something I saw. So if you come in here, Right, this process, if you've forgotten, is you put in your ID number with the leading 0, right? You make sure this is you, because remember, this step is what actually sends it back to Canvas for me, right? And so this is that information before. It's a little hard to read, something we're working at, but it's just the same information that was in Canvas. And so you hit Getting Started. So now in this assignment, there's not a series of buttons like I had before. So in this case, it's going to help you, and this is what you want to do, is read through this to solve the problem, right? The query that retrieves the normal temperatures, right? And it breaks it down for you, so it gives you some help. And then what you want to do is actually start writing the query, okay? And then draft it. And then when you hit enter here, it'll give you feedback on that. And so what I look for in this, right, if you're using this as your Authenticate, then is did you do, right? Did you go through a process to learn how to do that and ultimately arrive at a query that, you know, you felt was good and you were ready to try it? So what will end up in this is once you submit it, again, I'll look for authenticating based on how well you interacted. Once you do that, then select that and then go back to, right, you'll submit it, and that will submit it into Canvas. And then when you're doing, let's just go back here, right? So when you're doing the work, now I don't have my code space up right now, but when you're, and I'm just going to warn you, I haven't had time to update this, right? So when you're working in your README file for one or all of the queries that you use the ICA, right, to do your Authenticate, then you could just tell me in that file, instead of the new process that I just laid out, just tell me you used it. And then when I grade your work, I will go look at that. Okay, so just know that that's the case. So if I have time, I will try to update this here, but I hope this video serves as a way to help you understand what now you have an option for when we're looking at ways to get help with breaking down problem solving that serves as your authentication file. But the thing I want you to know is this is optional. I am going to be curious how many students use it. I will appreciate feedback, and please know that it is still something in test, and that these prompts that I've written for those 6 and that I will write for the next part 2 are a draft. And I hope, you know, I will test them myself, but your interaction may vary. Okay, I hope that helps you understand, you know, about changing times and trying to understand and help create and use the technology to help you learn and to help me learn, quite frankly. All right, see you later. Ask me any questions. And by the way, on this one, because you got part of the points from talking about this new Authenticate, you could actually talk about the video that will be underneath here about this this new option as far as how to create that Authenticate file. All right, talk to you later.